Welcome everybody to another World of Tanks replay. My name is Maxwell and today's replay is from the user Killerman02. That is Killerman02 and he's driving the Obj.140 on a standard battle on Malinovka. You may have noticed also this is from the test server, but that doesn't mean that the game is any less awesome and any less epic. The Obj.140 is a very, very good tier 10 medium tank. You will notice as well that this is an entirely tier 10 battle. Unfortunately, there is 4 artillery pieces aside, but like I said, fully tier 10 battle. This should be very, very interesting, and it is very, very interesting. It is a little bit slow to get started, but that's just because in a fully tier 10 battle you do have to be careful. You can't go rushing off to your death or you're not going to last very long at all. So this one is slow to get started, but trust me, when the action does start, it is fast and furious. Has a quick shot at the last known position of the 113 there. Just having a speculative shot. He does get spotted, but nobody taking aim in this direction just yet. Drops back so that his camo kicks back in, and he's going to retake his position. So while we've got a little bit of a lull in the battle, I do just want to say apologies for the lack of videos over the last few days. Obviously things are very, very busy at work at the moment. I'm hopefully going to try and have a vlog out during the weekend or after the weekend, just explaining a little better what has been happening. So keep your eyes out for that one. So, back to the battle. Like I said, Killerman just going to be sitting here in his bush, keeping an eye on the battlefield. In fact, we are going to speed this one up a little bit, because the length of time that he spends here is quite significant. Does land a critical hit on the 121 there, looking at the other Obj.140. Gets him in his sights and gets a lovely hit through his side armour as he is climbing the hill there. Has a reload, but I don't think he's going to be able to get another shot there. It looks like the enemy team is finally starting to climb the hill. Looks like they're really taking the time with that, as the allied team's been up on the hill for quite some time now. And they're going to find it difficult to get to the top of that one with the allied team entrenched up there already. They do have, what is that, the T-57 Heavy. The Obj.140 is kind of hanging back a little bit. Not sure why he's not all the way on top of the hill. Gets a great hit on the 121. And drops back as he is spotted, and he has to play this one a little bit carefully, as the enemy team does have some large guns and some artillery. Going to come in and try and get another hit on this 121. Does indeed get one through his side armor. The 121 looks like a little bit deer in the headlights there. He didn't quite want to fall down that cliff, and as he did, he gets himself taken out. Somehow the allied team has lost their T-57 Heavy that was perched on the hill there. He's been taken out, so the grip on the hill looking a little bit more tenuous now. They do still have those 2 tier 10 mediums. And it looks like Killerman just content to sit in his bush for the time being. Has done about 1100 points of damage, so he's done well so far. We're just not rushing this one at all, just taking his time. Luckily, nobody's focusing on this location, as he has been spotted here a couple of times. Looks like the allied team's already lost one of their artillery, so maybe somebody on the enemy team is playing counter battery. And just watching for the artillery's location and then firing at that. Killerman decides that now is the time that he's going to make a move. Should the plan here is long enough has passed for the enemy team to send a couple more tanks towards the hill. So I think his plan here is to try and circle around behind them. Obviously not making a move as soon as they pushed for the hill, or else he'd have been caught out in the open by the guys who were moving and pushing. Waited until they'd gotten almost all the way up the hill, and then he makes his move. Finds the E100, but he's just behind rocks there, a little bit unfortunate. Has a blind shot, not sure if that one's going to have hit. He continues now, looks like he may have hit that one actually, does hit that one. Gets a great shot through the side of the E100, he has been spotted now, so he has to be careful from shots from the right hand side. Lands another good hit on the E100. Looks like the E100 stopped and was aiming in this direction, which is probably going to prove to be detrimental to his health. as he really needs to get to the top of the hill and get into some cover. Lands another great shot on the side of the E100. And looks like the E100's going to be in cover now. That's the thing about the E100, you can hit it and you can hit it, but it's got almost 3,000 hit points. This T57 Heavy is deciding just to go charging in, even though he's probably not going to be able to take out this Obj.140 in a single clip, considering I think he missed one of his shots. The Obj.140 isn't really taking any damage whatsoever, so I'm not really sure what the T57 Heavy was planning on doing. Maybe just hoping that his allies can just land some artillery shells directly on the Obj.140's head, and it looks like that is exactly what has happened. All the artillery's just gone in there and focus fired the Obj.140 down, thanks to the T57 Heavy spotting him. And the T57 Heavy gets away scot-free. The Obj.140 at the same time, though, decided to move down off the hill and go artillery hunting, and that allows himself and Killerman to rain some fire on this artillery here. Lands three great hits to take out 2 of the artillery pieces. But this game is quickly slipping away from the Allied team, losing as they are 8 kills to 11. Enemy team has 2 very powerful heavy tanks up on the hill, although I don't think that T57 Heavy is going to be as influential as he would like to be, with only a few hundred hit points left. In fact, only 285 hit points left. Killerman spots the Waffenträger E100 to the right there and decides to do a quick veer to the left to get himself out of there. He's auto-aiming on the GW E100. That's just so he can concentrate on manoeuvring away from the Waffenträger E100 whilst still firing at the artillery. Lands another great shot, and that one lands square on the Waffenträger E100. Problem he has now, he doesn't really have any allies in range to offer him any assistance. Somehow accidentally breaks his track there, but he's kind of in a safe location. All of the artillery for the enemy team has been taken out. They've evened up the score a little bit at 10 to 11. But like I said, he doesn't have any support. He has a Waffenträger behind him, which is probably why he fell back to this location, so that if the enemy Waffenträger charges him down, he's got support. But that guy has to worry about the T57 Heavy behind him. Looks like he's been spotted now, and the Waffenträger's opening fire on him. Killerman going to try and get into a position to get another hit on him, which indeed he does. The Allied Waffenträger has been taken out. Killerman switches his attention to the tracks of the E100, which is a great move. Now he's going to try and get one through the tracks and the body at the same time, which indeed he does. He's got him pinned down now, and this is some excellent play by Killerman here, keeping the Waffenträger E100 fully pinned. Going to switch his attention to the other track now, try and take that out and do some damage. Didn't quite take the track, but did do some damage. One more hit should be enough. Can he get one through the underplate? He can indeed. That is all 2,000 hit points of damage falling to Killerman there for kill number 5. 6,000 points of damage and single-handedly taking out that Waffenträger E100. T57 Heavy has now closed in on the Allied base. Got to be careful here, as that turret can be very troll from the T57. If you don't hit it in the right spot, it can mysteriously bounce hits. As you can see, 2 shots bouncing there. Killerman's going to have to track back. Scores all even at 12 kills to 12. But he's got to worry about this T57 Heavy. If he's allowed enough time, he can sit behind those buildings, reload, and then he can be a force to be reckoned with. Especially with this E100. E100 down a hill isn't the slowest heavy tank in the world, so he's probably quite close on the heels of the T57 Heavy. And as you can see, somebody there started a base capture. Looks like it is that T57 Heavy. He was maybe waiting for the E100 to get close before he jumped in the cap circle. So Killerman's got to be careful. That E100 is probably going to be on the left-hand side, close to the T57 Heavy. That's the only time I would have started a base capture, as if I knew I had the support of that E100. Unfortunately, he just gets caught out in the open and taken out. The E100 tries to traverse his gun and his body at the same time. Didn't quite get to return fire onto Killerman, although Killerman didn't do any damage to him either. Now he's going to try and come in here and single-handedly duel with an E100. He has got full hit points, so he can afford to take at least 3 hits from this E100. Didn't quite manage to land a shot on him there. Going to try and bait him into opening fire and hopefully bouncing on the turret of this tank, which indeed he does. Bounces his shot on the turret. Killerman's going to use this opportunity to try and close him down. He has switched to heat rounds, as this is a carry situation. He really needs all of the help he can get. Gets 2 bad shots on this E100. The E100's really doing a fantastic job of angling his armour. does land a massive shot through the armour of Killerman here, but Killerman's probably going to be able to fire 3 times before he reloads, but he's got to use this guy's body as coverage. He's got a Foch 155 closing in from the front. Can he get the last hit onto the 100? He can indeed. Still got 1100 hit points left, and now he's got to use the corpse of this thing as cover. Seems like the Foch 155 is firing the heat rounds, but with this being the test server, there is absolutely no side effects for spamming all of the heat in the world. Foch 155 closing in. He did have 2 shots and then stopped, so that's probably him reloading. Killerman again, going to use this opportunity to try and close him down. Get in closer. He can't duel with this guy at long range, especially not with only 1100 hit points. Not sure how healthy the Foch is. Looks like he might be on full health, so this could be a bit of an ask. Trying to get a full health Foch 155 with only 1100 hit points himself. Foch 155 is on full health. He's backing off. Has 1 shot. That was a 0 damage critical. Little bit unfortunate. Foch 155's doing his best to try and track the 140. He's still got enough distance between them. They both fade away, so Killerman decides to stop and reverse and arrive at a different location. What the Foch 155 should be doing now is reversing away from this location, just to put as much distance between himself and Killerman as he can. That has 2 benefits there. One, it opens up the distance between them so that the Killerman can't get alongside him, and it also improves his camo rating by putting some distance between them. As 1 shot and that 1 bounces, Killerman starts to make a move, realises that the Foch 155's probably only got 2 shots left in the chamber, and that's not enough damage to be able to take him out, although he does take out his tracks and he's already used his repair kit. He's just going to have to sit there in the open and take the second hit. Luckily, the first one didn't penetrate. If it had, that would have been curtains. Now he's going to have to try and close him down. He's got a long reload left on that auto loader. The Foch 155's doing his best to angle there, and Killerman's still able to put that one through his side plate. Now he's going to have to carousel around him. Got a few hits he's got to land, but now that he's alongside the Foch 155, unless he pulls out some kind of miracle maneuver, there's not going to be anything he can do, although Killerman is down to high explosive ammunition now, which means he really needs to put these shots into the rear armor to be able to do maximum damage. He does indeed. He's got 2 shells left. Can he take him out? Can indeed. That is kill number 8. 9,000 points of damage from Killerman. An absolutely excellently played game there. Picking himself up, like I said, 9,000 points of damage, 8 kills, a well-deserved Radley Walters medal, among others. So absolutely awesome game there from Killerman02. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then send that into replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. Just attach the replay file itself or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I've been Maxwell, this has been a World of Tanks replay, and I will catch you guys next time.